10 landmark FBI investigations that shaped a century. From the Osage Murders to the Oklahoma City bombing, these cases underscore the FBI's pivotal role in solving some of America's most notorious crimes. Established in 1908 by Theodore Roosevelt and Charles Bonaparte, the FBI emerged as the premier federal law enforcement body under J. Edgar Hoover's strict leadership. In response to early 20th century chaos, including widespread lawlessness and inadequate local policing, the FBI was tasked with addressing complex crimes beyond local jurisdictions, signifying its crucial influence on American criminal justice. This list, though not exhaustive, includes some of the most infamous cases the FBI has tackled. Number 1. Osage Murders. In the early 1920s, the Osage Nation in Oklahoma found themselves amidst a wealth boom due to vast oil reserves discovered beneath their lands, catapulting them to global riches. By 1923, the Osage were distributing an astonishing $30 million in oil royalties among themselves. However, this prosperity attracted a dark underbelly of greed and violence, leading to numerous Osage members falling victim to murders by mysterious means such as shootings, stabbings, and poisonings. Local law enforcement's failure to act, whether due to indifference, inertia, or corruption, left the Osage seeking justice at a higher level. The Osage Nation's pleas for intervention led them to the U.S. Bureau of Investigation, where a young J. Edgar Hoover took an innovative approach by employing undercover informants. This strategic move helped unravel a sinister plot by some opportunistic white Oklahomans who sought to wed Osage members and then kill them to inherit their wealth. The investigation, spearheaded by Agent Tom White, a seasoned Texas Ranger, brought down William Hale, a well-known cattle baron, his nephew Ernest Burkhart, and others for their roles in this vast conspiracy. Despite these successes, many murders of the Osage during this period remain a mystery to this day. Number 2. Lindberg Kidnapping. The Lindberg kidnapping in 1932 shook the nation when the young son of celebrated aviator Charles Lindberg was abducted from their home, with a ransom note demanding $50,000 left behind. Despite efforts to comply with the kidnappers, the tragic discovery of the boys' remains near the family's estate 2 months later turned the case into a murder investigation. President Herbert Hoover's directive for the Bureau to lead the investigation marked a pivotal moment, with agents meticulously tracking the ransom's gold certificates. This diligence paid off over a year later when Bruno Hauptmann, a German immigrant carpenter, was arrested after using one of the gold certificates, leading to the discovery of a significant portion of the ransom in his possession. Hauptmann's trial featured Bureau agents presenting evidence that his handwriting matched the ransom notes, culminating in his conviction and subsequent execution in 1936. This case not only highlighted the Bureau's investigative capabilities but also underscored the emerging complexities of crime in the modern world. Number 3. Bonnie and Clyde. The saga of Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow, notorious outlaws of the Depression era, culminated dramatically in May 1934. Known for their daring robberies and cold-blooded murders across the United States, their crime spree was brought to an end in a Louisiana ambush orchestrated by local police with critical support from the Bureau. The FBI's involvement became crucial when Bonnie and Clyde began transporting stolen vehicles across state lines, escalating their crimes to a federal level. This led to an unprecedented collaboration among Bureau agents and law enforcement across multiple states, employing early criminal profiling techniques to predict the duo's next moves. Ultimately, an astute FBI agent pinpointed their location, leading to the ambush that halted their reign of terror. This operation highlighted the FBI's growing expertise in tracking and apprehending fugitives through strategic intelligence sharing and profiling. Number 4. Rosenberg Espionage Case. During the tense beginnings of the Cold War, a breakthrough in U.S. military intelligence unveiled a Soviet spy network embedded within the United States Atomic Research Program at Los Alamos, New Mexico. The decryption of Soviet diplomatic cables exposed this espionage, drawing FBI agent Bob Lamphere into a complex investigation. His work revealed a trail from Klaus Fuchs, a physicist at Los Alamos, to Julius Rosenberg, an engineer in New York, and eventually to several other members of the spy ring, including Julius's wife, Ethel. J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI director, deemed the Rosenbergs' 1951 conviction for espionage as the crime of the century, reflecting the case's high stakes. Despite the controversy over the aggressive pursuit of Ethel Rosenberg to pressure Julius into confessing, a strategy that ultimately failed as neither of them confessed, they were executed in 1953. This case not only underscored the FBI's role in countering espionage but also highlighted the complexities and ethical dilemmas of intelligence work during the Cold War. Number 5. Assassination of JFK. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, in Dallas's Dealey Plaza, immediately propelled the FBI into a vast and intricate investigation. In the aftermath, FBI agents swarmed the scene, gathering evidence and conducting interviews. Their exhaustive efforts encompassed around 25,000 interviews and the pursuit of countless investigative leads focusing on Lee Harvey Oswald and potential connections to the assassination. The FBI's laboratory played a pivotal role in analyzing ballistics evidence, conclusively linking the murder weapon to Oswald and supporting the theory that he acted alone. This conclusion, later presented to the Warren Commission, remained one of the Bureau's most significant yet debated determinations. Number 6. Murder of Medgar Evers. The pursuit of justice for Medgar Evers, a prominent civil rights leader assassinated in June 1963, is a testament to the FBI's persistence. Evers was gunned down outside his Mississippi home, but it wasn't until 1994, decades later, that the FBI's diligently collected evidence contributed to the conviction of Byron de la Beckwith, a known white supremacist. The key breakthrough came early when de la Beckwith accidentally left behind the murder weapon, injured by its recoil. Despite initial setbacks, including 2 acquittals by all-white juries, relentless efforts by Evers' widow and the FBI's assistance in unearthing new witnesses ultimately led to justice. De la Beckwith's conviction marked a delayed yet pivotal victory against racial hatred, underscoring the Bureau's role in civil rights cases. Number 7. D.B. Cooper disappearance. The enigmatic case of D.B. Cooper remains one of the FBI's most tantalizing mysteries. On a chilly November afternoon in 1971, a man using the alias Dan Cooper boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305 from Portland to Seattle, his attire inconspicuously businesslike. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper revealed his bomb threat to a flight attendant, initiating one of the most audacious hijackings in aviation history. His demands were specific: $200,000 in used bills and 4 parachutes. After releasing the passengers in Seattle in exchange for the ransom, Cooper instructed the crew to head towards Mexico City at a low speed. In a daring escape, he parachuted into the night over the rugged wilderness, possibly near Nevada, vanishing with the ransom. Despite a vast manhunt and investigation that sifted through over 800 suspects, Cooper's fate remains a mystery. The case took a curious turn in 1980 when a child stumbled upon decaying ransom money, rekindling interest but yielding no definitive answers. To this day, the D.B. Cooper case remains an open file, epitomizing the ultimate unsolved caper. Number 8. Patty Hurst kidnapping. The kidnapping of Patty Hurst in 1974 unfolded into a saga that captivated and confounded the nation. The FBI spearheaded the investigation, which took an unconventional turn as Hurst, an heiress, was abducted by the radical Symbionese Liberation Army. The captor's demand for a ransom was unorthodox: $2 million in food for the needy. The case veered into the surreal as Hurst, rebranded Tanya, seemingly allied with her captors, engaging in bank robberies and other crimes under their banner. After an exhaustive manhunt, the FBI captured Hurst, not as a victim but as a fugitive, leading to her conviction on multiple charges. Though sentenced to 7 years, Hurst's time in prison was short-lived. She served just 2 years before receiving a commutation, and ultimately, a presidential pardon. Her case remains one of the most perplexing and debated transformations witnessed in American criminal history. Number 9. The Unabomber. In 1980, the FBI embarked on a hunt for a shadowy figure behind a series of enigmatic bombings that would span over a decade and a half. The first major alarm sounded when a homemade bomb detonated in the cargo hold of an American Airlines flight, closely followed by another device mailed to the president of United Airlines. Collaborating with postal inspectors, the FBI discerned distinct design patterns linking these devices to subsequent attacks, culminating in 16 bombings from 1978 to 1995. The bombs, often crafted from scavenged materials, inflicted severe injuries and claimed 3 lives. Despite the bombers' meticulous efforts to leave minimal forensic evidence, a breakthrough came in the mid-1990s. The FBI's decision to publish the Unabomber's manifesto in national newspapers led David Kaczynski to recognize the writing's resemblance to his brother Ted's philosophies. This tip propelled the FBI to Ted Kaczynski's secluded Montana cabin, where they apprehended him with an armed bomb under his bed. Ted Kaczynski's subsequent guilty plea concluded one of the most perplexing investigations of the Bureau, marking the end of the Unabomber's reign of terror. Number 10. Oklahoma City Bombings. The Oklahoma City bombing on April 19, 1995, marked a grim milestone as the deadliest act of domestic terrorism in U.S. history. A truck bomb, detonated outside the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building, obliterated a third of the structure, killing 168 people, including 19 children, and injuring hundreds. The FBI's swift action led to the identification and capture of Timothy McVeigh just 2 days post-blast, but pinning down the full scope of his conspiracy required a monumental investigative effort. Through 28,000 interviews and the examination of approximately 3 tons of evidence, the FBI unraveled McVeigh's motives and meticulously planned actions. McVeigh's subsequent conviction and 2000 execution brought a semblance of closure to a nation reeling from the unprecedented attack, underscoring the FBI's pivotal role in combating domestic terrorism.